Good afternoon. I guess I didn't want to have any notes up here anyway, so you'll have to bear with me. I'm Bill Forsyth, the special counsel involved with the investigation into Michigan State. I'm accompanied here today by Senior Assistant Attorney General Bill Ralston, Detective Lieutenant Ryan Pennell from Michigan State Police, Chief Deputy Assistant Attorney General Laura Moody, and Assistant Attorney General and Project Coordinator for this investigation, Christina Grassi. Before I get started, I want to go over a little bit of history and background as to what led us to where we are here today. If you recall, the Board of Trustees at Michigan State had requested that the Attorney General conduct an investigation into Michigan State, and cutting through everything, quite frankly, what they wanted us to do was to find out how Michigan State failed the survivors of Larry Nassar and how he was allowed to prey upon and victimize so many girls and young women for so long without anybody stopping him and stopping his behavior. Based on that request, Attorney General Schuette appointed me special prosecutor to handle this investigation at the end of January. And the first act that I undertook in that position was we sent a letter to Michigan State asking for certain documents and certain items involving a number of people we thought would be relevant to this investigation, including documents and items belonging to the former dean of the College of Osteopathic Medicine, William Strampel. Among the items we asked for were his computer, his cell phone, and his calendar that was issued to him by the university, and also certain documents in regard to Dean Strampel. Before Michigan State was able to respond, and it was not as if they weren't trying to respond, because we had asked for a lot of documents and a lot of information, but before they responded, we received a credible tip with respect to Dean Strampel, which we felt to be time sensitive. And as a result of that, we issued a search warrant for the items that I mentioned earlier and took them, and based on that, the investigation began at that point, led by Lieutenant Pennell and also a number of detective sergeants from the state police, assisted by Chief Investigator from the Attorney General's office, Dave Dwyer. And they've worked extremely hard, and the end result of that is that we're here today having charged former Dean William Strampel with a number of charges, which is my understanding he'll be arraigned on this afternoon at 2:30 in the East Lansing District Court. I would caution again at this point in time and remind everybody that these are nothing more than accusations against the former dean, that he's presumed to be innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Now, the four charges that I would anticipate he's going to be arraigned on this afternoon are count one, misconduct in office, which is a 5-year felony. The second count is criminal sexual conduct in the 4th degree, which is a 2-year high misdemeanor, and 2 counts of willful neglect of duty, which are 1-year misdemeanors. The criminal sexual conduct case, I think, is pretty self-explanatory, but the other charges, the misconduct in office and the willful neglect of duty, are somewhat nebulous, and I think they've provided you a packet here today, which includes the probable cause affidavit that was filed with the court when we sought the warrant to arrest former Dean Strampel. Now, I'm not going to go over the whole document with you, and I'm not a great one to read off of notes or read anything, quite frankly, when I talk to the media or talk to the public or talk to a jury over the years. But I want to highlight paragraphs 28 and 29 of the probable cause affidavit, because I think they summarize the basis of the misconduct charge against former Dean Strampel. In paragraph 28, as dean of the college, Strampel used his office to harass, discriminate, demean, sexually proposition, and sexually assault female students in violation of his statutory duty as a public officer. In paragraph 29, as dean of the college, Strampel abused the authority of his public office through threats and manipulation to solicit, receive, possess pornographic images of women who appear to be MSU students in violation of his statutory duty as a public officer. Counts 3 and 4 apply to his supervision, or quite frankly, his lack of supervision of Larry Nassar. Count 3 alleges that he did willfully neglect to develop and maintain Michigan State University College of Osteopathic Medicine, a duty enjoined upon him by statute, by allowing Larry Nassar, a DO, whom the defendant had supervisory duties over, to continue to see patients after receiving a Title IX complaint alleging sexual misconduct by Nassar before the Title IX investigation was completed. Count 4 alleges that he failed to enforce protocols, including but not limited to the use of surgical gloves during examinations, procedures involving patients, requiring informed consent from patients prior to any examinations or procedures, and attendance by any other employee in the examination room with Nassar and patients during examinations of procedure. Those are the basis of the 4 charges against him. I'm not going to take any questions. I'm not going to go into any more detail because this is a pending case and I have an ethical obligation as an attorney not to comment on that. But I will say this is an ongoing investigation, and we would encourage anybody with information, whether it be about former Dean Strampel or whether it's about anything at Michigan State that they're concerned about, to call the hotline from the Attorney General's office and to report that.
Can you at least discuss where the tip came from?
No.
Counselor, since there was some controversy about the raid, is it your contention that the tip you got meant that you had to get in there and get that documents before somebody else got it?
I'm not going to answer that. How's that? Not going to answer any more questions. I'm just not.
Well, do you think there was a point to stop the raid?
Not going there. We did what we felt we needed to do, and it led us to where we are today.
What does this say about the
Thank you.